Thank you for watching our webinar. Our presentation is called Farm to Fork, Connecting Communities with Their Food Systems. My name is Sally Hambright-Belue, and this presentation is going to be given by my students, Elena Blair, Colin Bland, Madison Smith, and Brayton Gregory. These students are from the School of Architecture at Clemson University, as well as the Communication Studies degree. At Clemson, we have a program called Creative Inquiry, and this involves undergraduate students in research at Clemson. This is also a service learning class where students had a real client and produced a real product for the client. So with that, I'm going to let Colin start the presentation.
Thank you, Sally. Well, as Sally mentioned, we are from the upstate of South Carolina, which we have highlighted here on this map. The upstate is comprised of 10 large counties in the upstate, and our client that we primarily worked with throughout all of our research and work was Feed and Seed. Now, Feed and Seed is a nonprofit organization that is primarily vested in connecting consumers with producers, whether it's for like produce or meats and dairy products, things of that nature. They're interested in connecting buyers directly with local producers of food. So that being said, the beginning of our work is focusing on a small instance where Feed and Seed was trying to connect local communities and consumers with product at a Spinks store. And Spinks is a South Carolina gas station and convenience store chain located with various different sites throughout the state. Our first project is looking specifically at the store that's located just outside of Greenville. Feed and Seed is interested in creating several food hubs throughout the state, and a food hub being a place where consumers can meet directly with the producers who are generating products for consumers, and they're connected directly and they can purchase directly from the people who are immediately producing it without having to go through all these middlemen. Now, at this particular site, Spinks had a large area of their land that they could use to, in turn, create a community garden space that would service the communities and then produce interests in a lot of products that local producers around the area are creating. Now, for us as students, our main goal was to create a space that would draw the community in to the location. And so we were gathering information, we were doing research on the communities around, and we found that there were blue-collar workers working at a hospital across the street. There were also young millennials who are moving into an area just outside of Greenville who are also going to be utilizing the site, as well as some lower income residents. And so our job was to create a design that would be able to encompass and invite all of these individuals and then connect the individuals to products since they are located within a food desert. So that research in turn created a plan that we proposed. It was called Our Backyard, and we pitched this both to the Feed and Seed organization as well as the Spinks gas station chain. We were trying to show that we could create a space that would both be inviting and then allow for educational growth and allow for product to be produced. So here we visualize what could be going on within the space. It could be a play space as well as a place where you actually grow food in a community setting. And then in turn, you can be connected with producers within the store itself. So this was what we produced early on in our research, but then we realized that this was such a small instance and the food system that we're looking at was much more complex than that. So now I'm going to turn it over to Madison, who's going to delve into that aspect a little bit more.
A visual representation of South Carolina's upstate food system is a pivotal part of making it accessible to the local community. Right now, communities are struggling to engage with the food system on account of it being disorganized and poorly marketed. To no one's surprise, the upstate of South Carolina is home to a multitude of farms, farmers markets, and local restaurants, but the contact information for all of these is scattered and disorganized. Our creative inquiry class created spreadsheets of the farms, farmers markets, and local restaurants and ended up with hundreds of listings that we discovered only through in-depth research. Although this information was available to us by means of research, it's not currently accessible to the public. So if someone was browsing the internet for a local farmer's market or farm, they might find one or two options, but definitely not everything their community has to offer. There are some existing online resources that present the local buying and selling options in the upstate, but we found none of them to be very comprehensive. This is the SC Grown website, and although it's graphically pleasing, it's very vague. There's nothing on here that constitutes what SC Grown even means. This is a very poor marketing technique. This page of the SC Grown website features fruits and vegetables, but doesn't give any information other than what's in season, and it excludes the local restaurants. To navigate this part of the SC Grown website, you'd have to know exactly what you're looking for, since everything is listed alphabetically without clear directions or regions. So next, let's look at a mobile app designed to connect local buyers to producers. This app is an extension of the SC Grown website, but the first problem with it is that it features only restaurant labels without any clear indicator of the restaurant type. And like the website listings, these restaurants are listed on the mobile app without any clear categorization. When a user clicks on the restaurant name, not even the hours are listed for most of them. By now, I hope you've seen some of the existing problems with the marketing of the upstate South Carolina food system. Let's take a look at one last website. This is the Eat Wild South Carolina website. It's an initiative that gives information on farms, farmers markets, and local restaurants. And although a lot of information is listed here, there is no clear wayfinding graphics anywhere on the website. In addition to lacking graphically, the text is very cluttered and almost overwhelming to look at. We like that the Eat Wild website included a map, but there are less than 15 farms listed in the upstate South Carolina with no clear reasoning for excluding the other couple hundred. After viewing resources that marketed the upstate food system ineffectively, we decided to do something to fix it.
So as my colleagues mentioned before, the South Carolina upstate food system is very complex, and currently in place the solutions are either not clear, comprehensive, or not accessible. So we decided to come up with our own solution based off of what we saw as their problems. So our solution is composed of one solution, two parts, and four concepts. This includes mapping the upstate through a digital map, a printed map, and through a mobile app prototype that included video tours and info pages. We believe that this initiative will help tourists and locals experience the upstate food system both online and in person. So we believe that our solution will help us accomplish many goals. We want to make the food system very practical, accessible, and engaging. Through this, stakeholders will have easy access to the local food system. We'll have digital and physical materials to help maximize accessibility, and we hope to have a clean, simple design that is easy and achievable for all users to use. So first, I'm going to turn it over to our first component, the digital map, and Elena will tell you more about that.
One solution we thought would be helpful to the public would be creating a map. We decided to use a tool called MapMe to house our local food systems. We looked at several different map tools, but we really liked this one for a couple of different reasons. One reason we chose MapMe was because it can hold thousands of points. This map also looks a lot like the Google map that most are familiar with, so people will be comfortable using it. Another great option for this mapping tool is you can give access to multiple users so they can edit their map points as they need to. However, the coordinator has to approve these edits before it shows up for everyone to see. MapMe makes it really easy to see the different points, allowing them to be color coordinated and a visual by category. Let's say you're looking for a Sphinx nearby. If you click on the Sphinx Market tab on the left, you are able to see the different Sphinx. You can then click on the Sphinx closest to you and you're able to see what all applies to this location. For each location, you can insert the logo, the website, social media links, hours of operation, descriptions, and the photo gallery. MapMe was also a great tool for us because it can be accessible by using a phone, which will be great for being housed in our mobile app. This is one step of solving the problem for the local food system in the upstate. The next step of our solution for the local food system was to create a prototype for an app. For this prototype, we wanted to have 3 sections to this app: an About section, a Tour section, and a Gallery section. The About section will tell a little bit about what Feed and Seed does for the community. The Tour section is where you would be able to find farms, markets, and restaurants. And the Gallery would take you to different pictures where Feed and Seed has gone. Once you click on the Tour section, you're able to view the videos that show a little bit about the location to see if you would enjoy going to that certain location. This app would also be able to be housed in the mapping. These are a little bit of the prototypes that we found that show you the gallery and the video tours, and also the mapping. Now I'm going to turn it over to Brayton so he can tell you a little bit about the brochure part of our solution.
So one of our last solutions was supposed to be very engaging, and it was supposed to make the food system very accessible to the upstate. We took a look at an existing brochure that was created by the South Carolina Parks and Tourism Department that was called Satisfy Your Thirst South Carolina Beverage Tour. This idea was basically to give the upstate a way to find local beer, spirits, wine, and beverages. However, we realized that this map itself did not convey the ideas of the upstate food system. But we did like the idea that it was engaging and many individuals could use it themselves. So we wanted to take this idea and further it for our own research. So we came up with 3 different maps specialized by type: farms, restaurants, and markets. These brochures are meant to help you engage with the upstate food system by simply a simple brochure that will take you on a tour of its own. So the first map that you can see is a Farm to Fork Farms tour. Each map is broken down into smaller categories. For example, on the farms you have pick your own, livestock, kid-friendly, and general. All the points that are on this map are randomly generated based off of random points throughout each county that we found were very engaging and were also easy for tourists to access. We did the same things for restaurants and markets. As you can see on the Markets app, we've also included our Sphinx stores. We've broken it down to other categories as well, such as roadside stands, local grocery, and farmers markets. As you can see on the restaurants, we've also broken it down to bar and grill, date night, and family friendly. We believe that these categories are very engaging and can be used by any individual that's on the go. So, today I would like to give you 2 anecdotes of how we would like to see Farm to Fork in action. So, for example, we have a young woman named Sarah. She lives in Spartanburg, which is a county in the upstate of South Carolina. She opens up her local newspaper and sees the Farm to Fork app. She downloads it. Sarah, being a mother of 3, is always busy and never has time for herself to do her own research. So the app itself helps her choose a tour that she finds very useful for her 3 children. So one weekend they take the tour and have a great time in the upstate of South Carolina. The second antidote is about bringing tourists from outside of the county into our county to help our local economy. So Martin is a businessman from Charlotte. He's traveling to visit friends in Greenwood, also a county in the upstate. On his drive, he stops at a local Speaks gas station where he finds the Farm to Fork brochure. He picks it up and finds a restaurant. He suggests it to his friends, and they have a great time during his visit. So overall, we like to think that our solutions helped us come up with these projected outcomes. We created a clear visualization of the upstate, which made the upstate food system very practical. We also displayed it in a variety of formats, making it accessible, and we provided useful information in a fun way, making it engaging. So overall, we hope that our solutions help this complex system through the use of higher education and collaboration between higher education and professionals within the upstate of South Carolina. Thank you again for watching our webinar.